When we last left our heroes, they had just lost one of their own in a vicious battle against a cockatrice dragon hybrid creature and were helplessly lost in the nightmarish forest known as the Witchwood. However, even as things were looking very bad for the party, there was hope for them yet, because after a few hours of travel they found a small hut in a tiny clearing. Standing outside the hut was a dragonborn who was working on a small potato garden. Hello? Ah, you finally arrived! Wait, I thought there were supposed to be 5 of you. We, recently lost a member of the party, but more importantly, what do you mean by you've finally arrived? I'm sorry for your loss, and as for the second question, well, the Oracle stopped by to tell me that you'd be on your way. What? The Oracle? Who are you? I'm Wimrath, the previous commander of the Drusiran army and the current leader of the revolution. To explain why this was a big reveal for the players, we're going to have to go back in time 2 years, both in-game and in real life. There was once a legendary band of people known as the Winter Crew who'd recently arrived in the kingdom of Drusira. Due to an insane series of shenanigans, they managed to get invited to an important gala being held by the king, where he was going to be hosting every single important noble in the kingdom. Oh, isn't this dinner just delightful? A most splendid event, I'm sure nothing could go wrong with it. However, something did go wrong. For a day before the gala, a devil appeared to the Winter Crew. They owed this devil a favor, and that favor was called in. The party needed to assassinate the king or have their souls dragged down into the 9 hells. The Winter Crew immediately began scheming, and they decided that the best way to kill the king was to poison the food at the gala. The food that all of the guests at this party would be eating. Oh no, I'm beginning to feel quite ill. I too am not feeling well. The king must have given us peasant food. As would be expected, this ended up killing every single important noble in the entire kingdom except one. Because earlier in the day, Wimrath had gotten suspicious of the Winter Crew, and because of that, the Winter Crew had gotten the king to send him away before the party started. A few days later, Wimrath had heard the news that the Winter Crew had killed everyone, and that someone known as the Valorian Lord had arrived and killed the assassins before taking the throne himself. Wimrath knew that the Valorian Lord was bad news, and so he fled into the one place that he wouldn't be found and began to plot the revolution. Now that we're caught back up to the present, Wimrath welcomes the party into his hut where they met the newest party member. Char the Elven Ranger was a member of a group of archers known as the Ghost Slayers, who protected the people of the demonic thicket from otherworldly invaders. However, the Valorian Lord had recently attacked the Order and captured or killed everyone other than Char, leading him to join up with the resistance to fight back. The party was then informed that Wimrath had recently gotten information that another one of the Fangs was recently spotted in the city-state known as Boatlandia. Yes, I know that city name sounds ridiculous, but there is a reason for its existence, but that's a whole different story that I'll tell someday. This particular Fang was a cutlass known as Maelstrom, and so the party finally knew where they needed to go. They left the Witchwood with the help of a magic item that Wimrath gave them, and traveled to the nearest port city so they could sail to Boatlandia. As they were traveling towards the docks, they found a massive pile of rubble in the center of the city. Hey, do you know what this is? Yeah, it's the ruins of the old great church of Palor. Oh, well, what happened to it? It was the same Diabolists that destroyed Norwich. Luckily, the Valorian Lord sent more guards to every city in the kingdom in order to help root out all of the Diabolists. If you remember 2 episodes ago, the Valorian Lord was the person that destroyed Norwich. He's been using all of these attacks that he's caused as an excuse to increase his guard presence in all of the cities and take out all of his potential enemies. Oh, we've gotta go. The party then rushed to the docks and boarded a boat that was sailing towards Boatlandia. A few days later, the players caught sight of the city for the first time. So Boatlandia was a massive city entirely on the ocean that was made up of a bunch of boats tied together and connected with bridges and stuff. While the players were staring at the city, the boat exploded beneath them and they were flung into the sea. The party managed to swim to shore as the burning boat sank behind them, and as they crawled onto the docks, they saw someone wearing a red cloak and holding an instrument case turn the corner and out of sight. Well, that's certainly one way to be welcomed into the city. That's for sure. Luckily I have an informant here that should be able to help figure out who it was that attacked us. Sadly, Creed's informant didn't have that much information for them, however he was able to direct them to someone who might know more. The party was told about a wizard that frequents a pub near the center of the city, and that he's the guy they should talk to. When they arrived at the pub, they saw a very familiar face waiting for them at the bar. Velsaris, is that you? Ah, you're alive! Not all of us. Yeah, I noticed that the green one wasn't with you. Was it the owl shark that got him? No, the Witchwood got him. Damn, that's a shame. He was always my favorite out of your group. Anyway, what brings you to the alchemy jug? Our boat was attacked by a person in a red cloak who was carrying an instrument case. We were told that you'd have information about them. I most certainly have a treasure trove of information about the individual in question, however I'm going to need a favor from you first. Velsaris wanted the players to hunt down a pirate captain and bring back his severed head. The captain was Hildir, the Dread Lord of the Sea, and who also happened to be secretly employed by the Valorian Lord. Sounds good, we'll set sail in the morning to take him down. However, like everything else in this campaign, it wouldn't be that easy, because that night Peter was awoken as the tavern boat shook in the waves. And when he looked out the window, he saw a massive blue clockwork eye staring inside. Everyone get up right now. What? Why? The Academy is here.